Yo, what's up, YouTube? Okay. There are refined black women, and then there are hood black women with money. It's as simple as that. It's funny because when we talk about educated black women, no one ever wants to talk about how a lot of these women are still hood, and they're allowed to be hood because, like I said before, the hood stereotype for black women, okay, doesn't promote fear like it does for black men. At best, people are annoyed, and that's if you have too much attitude. But everybody loves the flair that the black woman brings to the office. You know, been there, seen it, where you have, the black woman who, she'll play the mother love, or she'll say what everybody wants to say. People like it. You know, I don't want to say she's the comedy relief, but she's kind of like that, outspoken type of person that I guess you need in a corporate office, right? So just as long as it's not too much and, you don't annoy us and you're not too ghetto, we'll accept it. So, like I said before, you have so many women that are still hood. I know plenty, with degrees, and some have master's degrees. Shit, some are even getting PhDs. I had a hood professor. Yeah, she was ghetto. The way she got down, yeah, she was. She tried to hide it, but that shit just came out from time to time. And me and my boy used to always have a good laugh, right? But then you have refined black women, okay, who don't resemble that whatsoever. Maybe they grew up middle class, or maybe they just, understood the whole idea of social norms, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. And a lot of the times they don't like the negative characteristics about black people. It's funny because we get mad when we are characterized or judged or stereotyped, but we want to hold on to the stereotypes that we like, right? But then, a lot of black people, whether they're hood or not, just abandon all of that. They don't like it whatsoever. Even the ones that, are more so humorous and less significant, they hate, right? It is what it is. I hate it too, right? An example would be the whole, Mandingo Black Warrior thing. Like, I don't like it, even though I understand how it can, be a positive, but I just don't like it, right? Because if you accept one stereotype, what happens? There's going to be a tendency for people to place other stereotypes upon you as well. It is what it is, right? This growing up, it's like, oh, you're a black guy and you like rap music, right? Black guys like rap music. What's next? Oh, well, you must know about drugs, right? Or you must know about other criminal activity. So is one stereotype leading to another. So to me, a lot of refined black people fall under that category of them trying to give up, abandon all the negative stereotypes or even some of the positive stereotypes about black people, because they know that stereotypes tend to, clump themselves together, right? It's like the black woman who, may have the attitude. If you have the attitude, it's gonna, a whole bunch of other stereotypes that you may not like will be placed upon you, right? She's combative, she must be ghetto, she likes this type of dude, and it's just a snowball effect. And that's what happens when you choose to identify with one stereotype that may not hurt you to a certain degree, but it still will, right? Once people connect others to it. So anyways, you have that, right? You have that whole hood black chick with money versus the refined one. And for a lot of brothers, we get upset because we don't feel like there's enough refined black women. Like I said, there's a lot of black women with money, right? Maybe because, they stuck with their job, or like I said, they got some sort of degree, but that won't fly. Why? Because hood black women with money tend to define themselves based off of niggas ain't being shit, right? The whole idea of black men aren't doing shit. Right, that's where they get their confidence. Their whole sense of who they are is based off of black men being inferior, black men not on point, black men, in jail, thugs, no job, right? And literally, if you took those men away, they would have no identity. They wouldn't know who they are. These are the type of black women, in my opinion, that once they do meet the brother who quote unquote has his shit together, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to act. They don't know what to say. Because a lot of who they are is built off of niggas not being shit. Right? Now, refined black women, on the other hand, that's not an issue. Right? They actually do better when they meet black men who are on point. They feel more comfortable. You know, they're pleased, they're alleviated because they can be themselves. Right? I don't know how many times I got the whole, oh my gosh, I loved having a conversation with you, simply because they got the opportunity to talk about some real shit, because who they are, how they define themselves is not based off of niggas not being shit, or black men being on the bottom. Black men are lazy, they're they're gay, or they're in jail and all this other good shit, right? They're not on that. Who they are, right? What they do, how they define themselves is based more so on them, or on other things that are not about black men pretty much being at the bottom. So they do better. And half the time when we talk about, a lot of educated black women tend to lose power or feel, I don't want to say what's the word I'm looking for? They feel less confident is when they are around brothers who are on point. It is what it is. That was, I guess, one of the knocks against my friends in college, right? There were certain women in college who gravitated towards, some of the black dudes who wanted to hold on to that hood persona and mentality. And they gravitated towards those men because they felt good. They liked the whole idea of these niggas is cheating, these niggas is foul, blah, 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 because it helped them stand out. It probably fueled them to study hard on the other good stuff so they can say, I'm better than this group of men, right? But with the group I ran with, you didn't get that, because we didn't hold on to that stereotype. Even though we were on college and, we had partially made it, we didn't hold on to none of those stereotypes, right? Because we knew the negative effects of holding on to even just one stereotype. So a lot of these women, they didn't necessarily do well around us. They can, they would kick it with us, but not hardcore, because at the end of the day, they didn't know who they were. They weren't comfortable. But the women that valued us, and the women that we still kick it with today, right? Come by, having a kickback, come hang out. Those are the women who didn't define themselves based off of niggas not being shit, right? So, once again, this is just another example of how we really know you guys and how we break you guys down. And in terms of what we're looking for, and, maybe why you're not being chosen. Because even if you have money and you're educated, your ass still might be hood, right? If you get off and you feel better about yourself knowing that black men are on the bottom, you're a hood chick with money. But if that annoys you and you don't feel comfortable around that group, you'd rather be around people who are more so intellectuals, I would say you're more so a refined black woman. It's not about where you grew up. It's not about where your parents grew up. It's just more so about how you define yourself. Because I've seen middle-class black women fall into that category of, or who grew up middle-class, fall into the category of hood black women with money. Because they base their identity off black men being whack. I've seen black women who grew up in poverty, grew up in the hood, fall under the whole refined black woman because they chose to define themselves on other things that were not about black men being on the bottom, right? So I had to put it out there so people aren't confused. So you guys take it easy. Tell me how you feel. God bless.